nice out. The temperature's perfect. There's a nice breeze. It's not sweltering. I'm so excited to see the lakes. Let's go. So before I get started on this 35-mile trail, I want to take a look at what's going on with my airbags. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know I installed airbags on the rear suspension of this truck. The top of my airbag is attached to the frame, but the bottom of the airbag is sitting in a cup on a bracket. And basically, I did this for articulation, but after all the off-roading that I've done, it's really just pushing the bracket further and further down, like at a slanted angle, and it's making the back rear end of my truck just sag, and it's getting worse and worse. So I really just need to take the airbags off and start over, or use something in the meantime until I have a better permanent solution. I'd like to get a custom leaf spring package made, but I can't really get anybody on the phone because everything's so crazy right now. But that's the end goal. Right now, I'm just dealing with the airbags. Hopefully it makes it until I get a better solution. So we'll see how. Salad layers above it.
I think the heat of the day and just the effort so far in the Tour de France, and I mean, without speculating too much, it does happen fairly often. I've had nosebleeds when the temperature changes dramatically.
Na-delay ng Yoshino po.
Sunny days like we have today, and just the membrane so fragile.
I just took a sunset shower, put water tank, because it's really cold out. This right here is my solar shower. It heats up 3 gallons of water, and it's base an option. It's warm and gravity, so as the water flow, this thing gets 3 gallons and 3 gallons only. It's only $20. You really can't. Okay, you guys can buzz off now. I'm gonna finish taking my shower. Bye.
Before we go right round the mountain and come over the other side, which is much steeper than this side. To dizzy old really not very far away from where we started this morning in Sorg. A first time ever start from Sorg, as we're going now to a first time ever finish in Malocène.
From the Shimano cars in blue, neutral support for the Tour de France, taking over from Mavic that had been doing that for many years. Taking over at the front, Garrett Thomas, having a good day, has been doing the tempo for many miles, Phil. Looked to be in trouble in the early miles, but now he's come around and leading the charge of the peloton, chasing 16 riders, but 5 minutes and 11 seconds behind.
Yes, that team coming to the Tour Ineos with a potential 4 possible winners on their team. Now definitely only one chance, and that is Richard Carapaz, the Ecuadorian rider on their squad.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Overall, and all of them now.
What's your name?
Him. Even the man
Bravo.
that Tour in 2018, Geraint Thomas, the Welshman.
Pero lang yung ano nila.
Sana ko.
Muna natin kung saan sila mahina. Family tayo kanina eh.
Bravo ako?
Ako kunin kagad.
Okay.
Sorry,
ano plano?
Yung ano,
Clever.
yung Harugo, yung Marso A sa B. Yung Harugumo at saka isang Somers dito. C. Harap.
Saan ang main natin?
Parang mas okay i-main yung C. I-hold lang yung B, no?
Usually ganun.
Sige.
Oo. Kasi after nung
Kunin yung B,
split na lang.
mag-spread out yung ano. Split up. Yung ako dito. Ako sa one.
May isang central na torp dito. Dito kami ni Neko sa C.
Yung Stalingrad kaya yung dalawang battleship, ano muna. Hintayin muna natin kung saan kayo mag-push. Yung DD muna mag-scout muna kami. Muna kami kung saan, ano.
Tulong-lok. Sorry po. Joke lang po. I love you. Huwag nagagalit Lucy na yan.
So, ipat ka bunda dito. Ano,
Roger.
Pagkatapa ko ng B.
Roger.
Thank you. Huwag mo na magpakita to. Hiwalay kayo. Yung isa pumunta ng Nahinkan line.
Oh, mas mabilis yung Mars. Ako ang pupunta to.
Hiwalay. Lamang tayo ng points. Kahit hindi tayo gumalaw, mananalo tayo. Lamang tayo sa points.
Huwag lang ma-overwhelm yun.
Spat lang.
RPF?
RPF ko rin doon. Huwag muna. Ano pumunta dito, Papay?
Yep. Roger.
At least makita lang. Silip lang.
Okay,
Huwag muna kayo magpadetect.
Roger.
Yung harugo mo, muna. Ayun tatlong radar yan eh. Yan na, huwag muna. Petro. Ano pa? Papasukin yung Petro. Tumigil ba siya?
Tumigil.
Gumagapang ng konti.
Ay, detected na ako.
Sige, fire.
Clever. Demoin. Pa-overmatch.
Lang.
Bago yung DM sa akin.
Kami, kalaban tayo dito.
Clever.
Nandun yung Clever. Iikutan ko.
Ano ko? Sige, labanan mo na.
Pwede nyo pagtulungan yan. Marso and Somers, kaya ang Clever.
Kaya,
Hindi. Ipapush to kasi dalawang battleship lang to. Ay, dalawang cruiser lang to.
Ayun, nandun yung dalawang battleship. Oh.
Ang battleship nasa kabila.
Kailangan maano natin ang C. I-push na yan C.
ano mo? Baka takbo
Dali mag-scout ako sa dali
Gulayat.
Takbo na, Papay.
Magpupush yan. Takbo na kayo sa B. Dapat umakyat na sa C eh. Ingat lang sa broadside.
Ito muna ang dalawa. Sa taas.
Push na yan. I-delay lang natin sila.
Sa spot mo yung Kremlin.
Spot ko siya. Hintay lang, ikot ako. Lang, ano ba ka man magpapatok, Papay? Prop lang.
Roger.
Ano na?
Isang torp. Nag-radar
Lipat
na.
na ba ako sa kabila para
Radar
i-turp
na.
yung Kremlin? Or tulong ako dito?
Nag-radar na yung demo.
Ubusin nyo na dyan.
Petro.
Makakatakas yata yung Petro. Na-beach.
Yung Kremlin. Pagitna. Ayan, nag-radar na.
Kaya ng Summers yan. Ubusin mo yung team.
Okay, kita ako dito eh. Kaya niyang bantayan.
Pushing.
Push. Kahit yung battleship tumapak na saan? Yung Thunder. Teka. Nag-push yung Thunder or ma-move broadside ng ano. Ano yung kutong ano. Yung Petro, i-torp.
Nag-radar yung Petro.
Radar ako.
Petro, please.
Konti na lang.
Wala ako
Petro muna. Petro. Isang shot mo.
Stalingrad. Lapit ka na, isugod mo na.
Wala na siyang radar.
Na-hold na naman ang bot.
Well, we're looking at half the team left in the draw, 2 riders, because they've only got 4 riders left in the race, Group Armour. And so we'll see. We're hoping that it's not like we should not be seeing Gadu in trouble here. Let's
Ano
try
ako
and
dito?
start with Adam Blythe.
Pinapatay yung Petro. Hit pa yung Petro.
Radar. Pa.
Bakit saan?
Engine boost deactivated.
No, and in fact, the time is still opening up there at 4:53. Well, I know it's very early still over on the west coast.
Ganda naman ang tama po.
So we're just
Ayaw matras ang
Petro.
the lead in the King of the Mountains, not looking at
Stalingrad, Petro.
the frontier has a situation. But let me remind you that the start today,
Ano?
Julian Alaphilippe, the world champion, went out of the blocks like a
Tops,
scorpion.
tatamaan ng tops.
Dito ka agad.
Gradually, a few
Pan,
riders
bakit dito?
and then after a long
Punta na ako dyan.
he got into this group up front, which is 16.
Kremlin?
I'm about to tell you.
Kremlin muna, Kremlin muna.
I'm about to tell you of another rider as Gadu gets dropped. Tis Benut has
Pero pa sa gitna.
Ayos ka lang dyan, Marcel.
had another rider go out. Gadu is
May-
bringing the FD
7 seconds na lang
Pero
ako.
riders. Gadu
Ibay naman ang Kremlin yan.
expect that to Bob. He was looking good at the moment, sitting in 10th place overall.
Nakatago sa bato eh. Dala, hindi na ako.
He is in serious trouble and not looking good at all. Bruno
Sabatin tayo ng oil.
his teammate just in front of him, number 82. Nairo Quintana even further back.
Nawala na naman.
Feel a little bit better. He can perhaps
Ayun yung Ayo, libreng-libre yung Ayo.
first descent,
Kukunin ng Summerson.
but not looking good at all for Devi Gadu and looking to lose a tremendous amount of time if he does become unhitched from the
Kremlin na lang. Ano na lang.
Ineos. Not a
May available torps ka, Kadet, para sa Kremlin, kung sakali. Kahit isang bat.
Natot na ako. Ano ako isang
May
kalbo.
smoke ako in 24 seconds.
long ways before the finish
Oh.
and plenty of hard miles to come.
May... Kadet, pagbabato ako ng torps.
Pa na ako ng torch din sa Kremlin. Umatra siya. Dalawa. Yung ano, yung A.
Batalo ako ng
Sabi,
torps.
ayaw niya lumabas. Lumabas ni Gago.
Baka natin.
It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a pro.
Engine boost activated.
Find your fun in a world of endless roads.
Pupunta yan dito. Yung gulayat.
Boom. Find it in a group ride. Find it in a race. Find it in
Hindi naman itong Kremlin na to.
with the Gale cycling app where fun is fast.
Malapit na.
I said to him,
Malapit ang Kremlin.
your car insurance is Liberty Mutual, so you only pay for what you need. Only pay for what you need. The ship is on fire.
Ibay na to.
Dalawang torps sa yamat.
Ano to? Eh, may clever sa harap ng harago mo.
Ako gulayat, tatamaan. Ano. Bago.
Patayo, patayo.
Nagbato siya eh. Nagbato siya ng torpedo. Ay, yun nga lang sa gunfight.
Yung Thunder kaya niyang patingin. Iba ng Thunder.
41 na. Lamang pa naman ako.
Itong Yamato Summers.
Mukhang tatamaan ng torpedo.
Yun na,
So,
inaano
sa bagal na.
Stalingrad, gulayat. Broadside. Broadside.
Tatlong torpedo.
Shit! Andito pala.
Diyan, ano ko? Hinabol ka. Ay, atin yung caps. Mabuhay lang tayo. Mabuhay lang.
Itong Yamato. Ano yan?
Ito, oo. Sige.
Problem solved, sir.
Fuck!
Okay. So yan, nakap mo naman. Patay ako. Maano ako? Pay. Ako. Sandali, atras muna ako.
Nakaligtas. May iwasan niya lahat.
Need to throw in the towel on wrenching.
Diba?
Rocket camp. Rocket. You got any type?
Panalo tayo nito kaya ito. Kailangan lang natin
Ah, yung Goliath.
Goliath.
Yun.
X.
Nice.
Goliath.
Buti na-delay mo sila dito, Marso. Sa baba.
The ship is on fire.
Making it very difficult on the breakaway. Reduced dramatically in numbers by that acceleration.
May Stalingrad pa sa baba. Oh, tatawid na. Ito.
Nag-print ng buhay. Nag-print ng barko yung Goliath.
Mounties have interrupted us, so we're down to 21, but those speeds are high for the Mounties
Sana.
at 21
Sana.
miles an hour. So we're running very close to the best time at the finish.
At yung kamo.
And bad news for the green jersey. 14 riders off the back. 10:27 down already. So if they lose another 10 minutes, they'll
Malabas
be
na.
coming into the
Iko na
last
siya.
ascension over 20 minutes behind
Kailangan na
the
talaga
leaders. And that's going to make a very difficult chase. If you're just joining us, which is understandable, early day on the West Coast.
Nice.
Thomas has been leading a pretty solid tempo.
May smoke ako.
Bananas though since the start.
May smoke.
So a very high,
Natamaan naman siguro to.
incredibly difficult. The peloton gets smaller.
Actually, 146. Okay na tayo.
Kaya ko mag-spot. Kaya ko mag-spot.
Ineos trying to put big pressure on.
Barilin na lang.
Explain to us they want to launch Richard Carapaz the last time up the Ventoux. Maybe
Tama.
Yep.
Ayun.
Isang torp.
Tama isa.
which he hasn't had much yet so far in
Hindi
the
pa.
Guns na.
Ayan.
Bro. Ano, Roy, wala
Nasa bato, nasa bato. Sandali. Spot mo lang. Mag-smoke ako.
Wala,
Spot mo lang. Dali ako mag-smoke. Ayun, tinamaan pa isa. Stalingrad, tinamaan ng isa din. Ay, nagre-repair na. Nagre-repair na yung Goliath.
Wala tayo. Huwag lang mamatay. Liliko sa'yo, ano?
Ilang tama yun? Stalingrad, oh.
Putang gala. Yung Thunder.
Goliath, oh.
Mamatay ka pa.
Ay, yung Goliath.
Goliath.
Na-radar ako ng ano.
Ay.
Ayun. Gumana ang mobile fleet.
Nabuhay.
Uy, nasa Bravo tayo?
Oo, ikaw na gano'n.
Balik natin. Sorry. Naka-1 na eh.
And that's looking pretty dangerous for Cav so far today. This is the breakaway. Cofidis rider Anthony Perez looking to do something the team hasn't been able to do in 13 years, win a stage of the Tour de France. So Cofidis, and he didn't go for KLM points, so watch for him to go for the stage.
Grabe ang Kremlin, ano? Pang ano talaga?
Push yan, oh.
Pang absorb ng damage. Kaya maganda sa Kremlin, ibinibigay lang yan sa torp boot eh. Huwag niyong pansinin yun. Kasi nagsasayang lang ng ano yun, ng time. Lakas mag-absorb ng damage.
Ano si, ano eh, na-Mercer yun, na-delay yung main fleet nila actually.
Malaking bagay yun. May isang panggulo talaga. Let's go.
Jonas Vengago riding well and up there in the overall
Grabe.
standings. Maybe he's being
Lang siya.
forward.
Nakakapagod lang yung mobile fleet pero ano,
Vengago to attack
yung
late
survivability mo.
ascension. And that would be an unbelievable asset to have on the descent to the finishing town. It's a long descent off of the second time up Mount Ventoux before the finish. And
Ayoko na naman lalaking
it would
barko.
be great to have
Ang bagal.
Okay.
Napaka-
Hiroshima.
Pa tayo.
Double
Ano tayo?
radar.
DC tayo. CB tayo.
A ako?
CD.
CB,
May isang
CB.
flanker na Marso sa A. White.
White.
Top.
Dragon.
May isang torp boat
Kapin
na
ko, no?
mag-gitna.
Ako na
Kapin
yun.
ko, no?
Yung
Ay,
A, spot lang.
A, kapin.
Yun.
Pat lang.
Spot, oo. Kasi more likely yung kalaban pupunta na marami sa A eh.
So, ang primary natin is ano? CB tayo?
Oo, kasi nandun yung mahina yung ano.
9 line ba?
Ang hirap tumawid ng 1-2 line.
Oh, pero mako-cross lang tayo niyan sa from C to B. Pag nakaposisyon sila sa A.
Hindi, galing sa kabilang ano.
Makukuha natin yung A pag ganun. Lumipat na sila.
Ano ba? Anong plano? Ano, ilan ang plano nyo ilagay sa A? Konti lang.
Main dalawa. Okay.
Oo. Counterclock.
Siguro maiwan yung isang battleship dito. Yung Stalingrad tsaka yung Ohio sumugod dito sa 910 line. Tama ng dalawang destroyer.
Central Ohio, Thunderer. Sa ano. Dapat talaga laging may ano.
RPF ako nandito siya. Actually, pwede nakawin ng... Kung kayang nakawin ng Marso yung A, nakawin.
Roger.
Kaya, kung kaya. Kung wala, pinapatokan ka na na-radar.
Shima naman yan. Huwag ka lang na-radar si Marso.
Iba tayo?
Oo, CB. 910 lang.
Okay, B. So malamang isang ano yan. Isang destroyer yan.
Huwag mo na magpapadetect. Thunderer dito kasi.
Ikot.
Oh, Stalingrad. Ano na? Uy, chick!
Yan ako.
Stalingrad. Thunder Ohio. Sarap yan.
Yan, kunin yung A.
Copying A.
Hindi. May pinuntahan pa yung
Double
ship.
radar.
May pinuntahan pa siya.
Oo. Taas. Double radar nga. Double radar Stalingrad. Ang bilis mag-turn. Oo nga, ang bilis. Para sa Stalingrad.
Zao.
Zao. Ingat sa Zao. Marso. O, takbo na Marso. Okay na yan. Takbo ka na. Abutan ka ng Puerto Rico, Reda.
Roger.
Bato-bato ka na lang ng Torp Marso Hub sa advance sa ano. Sa likuran mo.
Yung... Saan natin sila dodoro? Okay, ito.
Okay. Nag-even split sila.
Nakakaiting na itong mga helmet to.
Dito na lagay yung ano ko. Radio.
Lipat tayo sa A. Lipat tayo sa A. Lipat tayo sa A. Lipat sa A. Lipat sa A. Yung siguro, kasi nakakait ko nandito eh. Dito yung papasok. Ito yung saluhin natin. Ito yung saluhin natin. Mas madaling patayin to eh. Yung harugo mo tsaka dalawang destroyer lipat. Balik.
Saan ba balik?
Ano, dito sa A.
Abandon na yung B?
Abandon
Okay.
na kasi nakakait sila dyan eh. Pag pumasok tayo dyan, magpapatakbo lang yan. Ito sa A,
Detected
lipat
yung DD ata malapit dito sa akin.
So spot tayo.
Dali.
So,
I-screen ko tong.
Dito yata sa taas. Kasama nito mga lokong
Thunderer, lipat tayo dito.
Tumatawid. So wala rito.
Raider.
Sima mo na.
Kita na tayo, Haragumo. Yan na lang, yung Shima. Tayo na yun.
yung lakas ng
Bitaw kayo.
Daw, pakipatayin daw.
Yep. At lumabas.
Ano tong Stalingrad dito?
Kunin ko yung Shima dito, patayin ko siya. Ayun si
Visit the feed before your next ride and get all the top products the pros use. Shop today and get a free limited edition tour bottle, which is
detected
always
ako.
available at thefeed.com.
Baka kaya nyo.
The Battle of Mont Ventoux, the hikers above and below the Tour de France.
Pinabaril ako. Wala, walang radar. Patay ako dito, walang radar. Puta, walang radar. Kita ko dito. Dalawang Shima. Putang na, ano ako. Abang radar. Putang ina yan. Patay ako. Ano ko ng dalawang...
Ano nangyari? Ang lapit agad. Ang lapit.
Hindi, pinapatay ko tong Shima, hindi ko na ano.
Eh, mabubuhay ka yan. Ito.
Sige, spot lang kita, Harago mo. Baril ka lang.
May Guns N' Roses fan, man.
Patay yung Shima.
Nakahydro.
Palayo ka, Tandera. Masyadong ano to. Maraming...
Balik ako sa A para mas spot ko Doku.
Sige. Yun ang Didian. Nabuhay yung Didian.
Hindi pa dapat. Naspatan ako sa kapila ng Shima. Dalawang Shima nag-spot sa akin.
Ikot ka na, Tandera. Ikot ka.
Yep. Yan, Zao.
Radar ba ulit?
Oh, Zao, padilit. Zao.
Patay yun.
Montana Shells. Nako, masakit to. Yep, masakit nga.
Yung ano, yung Shima nandyan na. Mapatay na yun ni Doc Rowe. Gunfight.
Vader.
Patay. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, sakit lang.
Zao nga man, Zao.
Not good.
Aray, double radar. Stalingrad sa kablap.
Sige, ikot ako. Sa Puerto Rico, engage ko. Nakakite din yung mga lokong Montana po.
So, kaya kunin yung A. Hindi.
Double radar ako dito. Pucha. Harago mo, first ha.
Stalingrad sa
Ang
Puerto Rico.
tagal.
Radar ka ba rin?
Radar pa rin, Puerto Rico. Ang tagal.
Dalawang radar.
Wala na.
Puerto Rico yung Puerto Rico.
Balik na tayo, gitna.
Hindi, push yan.
Nasira yung isa kong pilot.
Yung ano, yung Thunder mag-push sa ano. Baka yung ano, burn yung Montana. Yun yung A. Focus sa Puerto
Ano
Rico.
nakakadetect sa akin?
Shima, yung Shima.
Harago mo, please. Mamatay ako rito.
Yes, sir. Okay, stop siya. Na ano siya, na beach. Sir. Stalingrad radar. Ito kaya to.
Ano sila? Makaganti man lang.
Tap lang yung A.
Patay yung isa talaga.
Mapatay yung Shima.
Umaban din ah. Nice.
Puerto Rico. Force sa balik sa A. Nanalo sila. Wala. Yung patay mo na Puerto Rico. Force sa ano?
Kung kayang apakan yung
Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico.
kung kayang apakan yung iyo.
Yung Marshall mo na pabaril yung ano, Montana, ikas mo lang yung A. Bumabaril pa yung
Hold na yung point. Hold na yung point.
Bumabaril yung ano. Marshall. Hindi mo mapatay yung ano yung Montana. Lang.
Uy!
Ito na yung...
Walang flags.
Ito. Patay.
Mukhang in a good shape pa naman yata.
Kailangan makaapak ng isang cup.
Ako patay.
Full health pa yung Montana nila.
Yung Marso, pak lang sa A, tago lang sa island. Tapos
Yung-
focus yung core first kasi yung core first magpupush.
Advancing naman yung Montana, pwede niyang bato-batohin ng top set. Nang hindi siya detected.
Wag na mag ano yun.
Huwag ka pa-detect. Distance.
Aalis ako sa cup.
Okay, ikot
Ikot ka sa island.
Nakikita ka. Ikot lang sa island.
Oy, mag-separate naman kayo. Magkasama na lang.
Holding hands.
Magkasama.
Gagawa kami ng heart na design.
Pag ganyan naman.
Isa dyan. Yung Thunderer, akit sa ano? Akit papuntang A.
Yep.
Ikot yung core first dyan.
Magbe-beach yung ano, core first. Yata.
Naku, nag-broadside yata si Yagbos. Si Yagbos ang naka-broadside.
Hindi ba kaya ng... Hindi kaya ng Marso?
Mababroadside ka ng ano, ng core first sa ano, Ohio.
Yun yung plan.
Sana.
Yung Marso... ano...
Makabang na yung barilido ko. Kabang na. Yan na! Bang!
Oh, yung ano yung Marso
Ate,
natin.
RNG!
Ito yung Marso.
Tira ng 4.
Huwag na patay. Ito yung Marso natin. Nag-sacrifice eh. Tapos.
Ay, mali.
Ace.
46 seconds. Kailangan mapakan.
Oh man, sorry.
Ito po ang pinakamalapit.
Best placed man in the overall classification, but nobody really challenging the race lead.
26 seconds. Wala. Di abot.
Tama dito nito. Ngayon pala dumating yung Stalingrad ng kalaban.
Full health Stalingrad.
Kailan dumating. Naubos na sila dun eh. Ganda na nga.
Medyo scrap na yata natin yung 9-line strategies sa ano nito.
Out of position yung sa 9-9.
Waste of time.
Baga.
Sa gitna ang laban, oo.
Position.
Okay.
Decision.
Natin na-hold yung ano. Ano ko na Shima kanina? Outspot tayo.
The 149th Open Championship. Once again, America will begin their day watching the best
May isa akong binaba. May isa akong binaba.
Hindi na spot yung
Binabaril mo.
Gustong Shima.
The Open Championship next Thursday to Sunday on NBC and Golf. Mom Von 2 holds all the secrets of the day as we now start to go down, and it's unprecedented because we go round and do it
Yeah,
all
kala ko rin
again.
nakap ko na yung
We've
A.
never climbed this mountain
Mali
twice
ako tinignan.
in
Bitawan.
one day.
Bitawan.
Julian Alaphilippe is the man who's gone over the top first. Anthony Perez second, Bauke Mollema, Maurice and Van Aert, and I think there's one more we can show you in sixth place. Maybe not. Well, we continue with our pictures as we take.
Sure. In the overall standings.
The Crow.
The peloton we're looking at is at nearly
Nag-iisip,
5 minutes
nag-iisip
behind
magsimalan.
the action at the front.
Pero,
And the green jersey group
kailangan
of
ito
Mark
po.
Cavendish must finish inside the time limit to be able to defend his lead in that green jersey competition. 16 minutes back just now.
I want to say that the Ineos squad has taken over controls of the chase in the front of the peloton here, in front of the UAE riders. Ineos with Jonathan Castroviejo in the dark blue and red jerseys. Tadej Pogacar has two mates in front of him. A very good position for Tadej to be in. And they are perfectly poised
Petro, isang flanker.
to defend.
Dalawa.
They get some
Pati yung
magnificent shots. He's Team Ineos Grenadiers
Wala silang overmatch.
Pacher just
packing
getting,
on the front.
Quentin Pacher just getting
ako.
scooped up. He had been dropped away
Paano
before
main
the
natin?
top of the first ascension of
Montana
Mount Ventoux.
HE yan. Tingnan
And
mo.
his teammates
Yeah,
still in the gap. Pierre Roland,
Si
122.
CB ba or A ang main natin?
Well, let's just make sure Adam
May
is okay.
TV tayo.
Adam,
Ha?
Hindi, parang ano talaga eh, pang hold lang.
Isa lang ang kumuha ng C tapos A tayo. Tapos may wide sa A line.
Nangyayari, merong
Ako na sa A. Ako na sa
B.
C.
Yung,
Merong naka-ano dito na battleship eh, nakaka-ano. Hindi sila
teka.
hindi sila
Si... ikaw ba Marso sa C?
Ako na sa C.
Sige, full speed ka? Sige. Dito ako sa kabila.
Tayo. Yung main pit sa A.
now, why
Jan Kashima, dito ako sa medyo center.
These days and the old days, the rims got so hot.
Eh, ikaw ba
that you've
center?
got flat tires, especially on
Oh.
places like Mont Ventoux. Do these disc brakes make a
Haragu
difference now?
mo, gamit ka lang island.
Sorry, foot just hit the floor.
Located ang
it does
Summers.
make a difference. I think, you know, it's just the cooling down of the disc brakes, but on this descent especially, there's enough time in between the descent to let those disc brakes cool down a bit. But I'd much rather be on disc brakes
Yung
today than I would
Marso ang nasa A,
on caliper brakes,
Oo.
like say rim brakes.
Outspotted namin ng Shima yan. Haragu mo, red. Ay,
Thanks very
mahirap
much,
din parilin
Adam.
kasi ang
Well,
Marso sa malayo.
Christian van der Velde. Oh,
Tabuyin lang.
Christian van der Velde. Christian, what do you think of this race so far? I mean, we never imagined.
May stallion naman si Yagbols.
No, me neither. I actually thought it was going to be a
Look,
joke that when they said it 2 times, especially going on the descent on the way back down. But what I'm looking at here, Phil, they got
Isang
about
ano, isang
20K
battleship
from the
dito sa
bottom of
one
this
line.
climb, or descent, excuse me, to the
Wala,
bottom
wala.
of the last time up on 2. I expect Ineos to really put the hammer down. I don't see them making too much of a difference in the climb.
Malapit na sa cup yung
The
Marso.
second time, that's going to be a completely different matter, especially as
Ayun pala
Bob
sila
was
nasa
pointing
cup,
out. The bottom
Ayun
part,
ba?
going through the forest, easily the hardest part
Mas
of
ba?
on 2. That's
Wag
going to
mo
make
na,
a big
wag mo na,
difference.
wag mo
I
na.
see a lot of movement going to happen in the bottom of this
Malapit na sa cup yung Marso.
ascent of on 2.
Chris
Dito.
Horner, you won the Tour of Spain. You know all about descending high
Isa sa
mountains
one
at
line
speed.
para
How
mapag-cross
does
ka.
this particular mountain compare? We've hit speeds today of 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
Effective ka na.
I love it when it's going fast
mag-radar.
like this, as long as I don't have to be on the front towing everyone. Because when you're
Tama.
sitting in the
Meron
back
dito
right
eh.
now,
May
believe it or
ilan-
not, even at these speeds, you can take the time to start
Ilan
reaching in your
ilan
pocket and
naka-priority
grabbing some
target eh?
gels, drinking some water, catching up on some hydration from doing that first big climb up
Ilan
Ventoux
naka-priority
to
target
get
eh?
ready for this last mammoth climb up Ventoux.
Ito, yung Marso. Marso.
And what do you think of Wout van Aert being in the break at the moment?
I love Wout van Aert being in the
Gulayat
break.
nga
I
sa
think it's
baba.
absolutely amazing. You look at where Cavendish
Magana
is
ako.
on
Harugo mo,
today's
pwede-
stage, got
Nakita ko
dropped
pababa.
on the
Harugo mo.
first very small
Harugo mo, pwede
categorized
niya kunin.
climb.
Ang
And
tama.
then
Oops,
here's
nag-radar.
Wout van Aert. So Cav
Moscova
won
radar.
yesterday. Wout van Aert was
Radar
getting a
ako.
run for the
Moscova.
money on Cav finishing second, and now he's in the front group over the first time of Ventoux. That is quite amazing when you look at his range of what his fire and power is capable of doing. Flat stages wins.
Still on
That's gonna
radar.
go for a stage win here on Ventoux.
Christian van der Velde, what about Wout van Aert? Because this guy is something special. He's second to the back of this league group at the
Baril
moment.
pa rin ako.
I can't say enough about him. I mean, last year we
Petro
talked
at
about pretty much every
Gulayat ang
stage.
nandito sa
And this
blue.
year, what he's doing, one day going, like Chris was just mentioning, he's second place in the field sprint after working for his team. And now in the breakaway, driving the pace. I mean, he's the Bo Jackson. of
Wala na
this
radar.
guy could do it all. I mean, he
Full
deserves
player.
every dollar and then some what he gets paid.
Gusto niya.
Well,
Dalawa.
at the moment, we are about, I have to keep transferring
Pwede,
into
pwede.
miles. We are about
May
7.5
Petro eh.
May
miles
Petro
from
ba?
the village of Bedouin.
What?
And that's the rendezvous where we then start to climb
May Petro
Mont
sa-
Ventoux. For real, to see you in a moment.
At Lone Depot, we know home means everything. As America's lender and the official mortgage provider of Major League Baseball, we fund more than 30,000 home loans each month.
Isa lang, Doc.
Saving you money and providing mortgage solutions that are personalized, convenient, and fast, and tailored to the most important home team of all, yours. Give us a call at 844-751-LOAN or visit us online today. Loan Depot, home purchase, home refinance, and the official mortgage provider of Major League Baseball.
This is the greatest sock never sold.
Papunta sa...
Every time you buy a pair of comfy Bomba socks, we give this pair to someone in need. And thanks to you, we just donated 40 million of them. Give a pair when you buy a pair and get 20% off your first order.
At Mark Valeriano was shook with the new Popeye sandwiches and more packs.
Petro nag-radar. Petro nag-radar.
There's something for everyone. Start earning points with Popeye's rewards.
After an incredible first week,
Mark Cavendish, win number 31 in history.
It gets
Pagod naman na radar.
even harder. The
Ayun,
Tour
wala
de
na.
France on
Mas ba?
NBCSN
Broadside
and
malamang
Peacock.
sa isa sa
When you are Simone Biles, certain laws just don't apply. Like gravity.
Nakita ko
Moscow ba nag-reposition? Moscow ba?
This is where legends are made.
umakyat dito.
May shot ka ba, Ohio? Nakaabang? Moscow ba?
That's game.
Teka. Wait.
A whole lot of MailChimp smarts could mean even more
Nandito yung ano.
sales.
Radar na ba kayo?
At Moscow ba nag-radar?
Radar na ba kayo?
Moscow ba naka-radar?
Because hugs.
Pag nawala yung ano, pag nawala yung ano.
Moscow ba, please?
Yung radar.
Mag-reposition na.
Naka-radar pa rin yung Moscow ba?
Naka-radar pa, naka-on pa. Naka-on pa. Hindi ako matap.
No, pero parang sobrang layo naman ng Montana, so parang wala naman siya sa play.
Tagal naman ang radar.
Yan, okay. Ako natatapak sa'yo. Kaya lang yung Marso.
Tagal ng radar.
Takot.
Kung ano yun. Makaikot ka pa kayo.
Wala pa lang smoke yung Shima. Teka, lapit ako.
Ito Marso.
Hindi, natin 5 points. Huwag ka lang mamatay, Doc.
Sige.
Nakahil.
Moscow ba?
RPF na ako.
Ano pong posisyon itong Moscow na to?
History being made today on 112, where we started with 184 in Brest, but we're down to 158 riders in the Tour de France today. We've had quite a few dropouts on this tough stage, Bob, as we're approaching Bedouin, and that signifies the start of the full-length climb on 112.
Philippe on the front of the breakaway.
Ingat, Marso sa Moscow ba?
Seconds ahead of
Although kaka-radar lang yan, siguro mga 1.5 minutes pa.
Kaya ba niya tumapak
I would
dito?
imagine that will be different, but I think the breakaway, somebody from the breakaway has enough time to stay away to the finish line.
Well, the stage today has been one of go from the gun, so time to catch up with our Lexus stage summary and find out just how this race has gone today.
Harbo mo.
Including Alaphilippe, who started the attack of Wout van Aert. Tony Martin crashed into a ditch and abandoned the race. Still 172 kilometers to ride. 5 other rides have also gone. Alaphilippe was first over the top of Mont Ventoux, and we're on the second climb now. And then after that, we descend into the finish at Malocène. That is our Lexus stage summary. Well, despite what has been a terrific day of racing, I have to say, Bob, the best is still to come.
Teka,
This is
turning.
beginning to look like Bedouin to me. And if it is, that's the start of the climb.
Pierre Roland still in the gap between the
Hindi, kala ko kasi
and the
nag-smoke eh.
breakaway. Mark Cavendish's group, the green jersey group, is down to 9 riders, so I think riders going off the front of that to hope to miss the time or make it within the time limit, but that's closing on 20 minutes behind already. And if it gets over 30 minutes, it's going to be a really desperate struggle for Mark Cavendish to finish within the time limit of the stage win.
Ako yung Moscow ba? Overextended na yan?
Well, this is the chase group trying to get back on terms, but dropping back towards the peloton. This is the group that... this is the group that's leading the chase. So the eight leaders here up front. 2 riders from Trek Segafredo on the front as well, as Maurice just behind in that dark-coloured jersey. Alaphilippe and Luke Durbridge still there, Bob. It's one of his best days in the mountains I've ever seen him have.
Absolutely.
Ako na lang sumunta na.
Durbridge, Sandro Maurice also having great days in the breakaway and dropping.
Takbo ka na, Harago mo. Ako na sumunta na.
Fancy palmaries or list of accomplishments. That was Magnus Cort in the pink, the back of the field. Starting to struggle a little bit. His teammate, Rigoberto Urán, 3rd in the overall standings, and maybe moving up a spot or two, or spot at least. Not 2 spots, probably at the end of today's stage, but Rigoberto Urán, if he's feeling strong, might go on the attack with Richard Carapaz on the next climb of Mount Ventoux.
Kailangan mo ng smoke, Harago mo.
6 seconds na lang smoke.
That wasn't the town I thought it was.
Okay.
So we're not quite there yet before we start the climb, which is now upgraded to all category, outside category, because we're doing the full length of the Ventoux from its toughest approach. As we go over the top 2, it only gets worse for the riders, Bob, or if you're good, better, because there are 3-time bonuses over the top here.
That is a very good point. If you're feeling strong and you're a great climber, like a number of the riders in the peloton are, and you're having a good day, and then Mount Ventoux is absolutely glorious. For everybody else, though, it is a serious struggle.
Okay, well, this is when the experts get a little bit embarrassed. We're going to show you our predictions for the day made early before the start. This is the overall standings. Adam has had a great tour this year. He was very poor last year, by the way. He's got 24 points, Bob 15, down to me, bottom of the list with 8. So today, let's have a look. I went for Pogacar. I know my Tour de France. Adam got Carapaz, so there we think of the top 2 boys. Christian has gone for Nairo Quintana, but I think he's cracked Christian. And Bob has gone for Rigoberto Urán, who still is very much in the frame. But we've all got the problem at the moment of bringing back the breakaways before any of us get any points. And we'll stay in the Vaucluse all day today on these rugged roads. 18 minutes back to the green jersey now, Bob.
Yeah, that's looking worrying for Cavendish.
And overpen.
Vegard Stakalangan, the teammate of the Tadej Pogacar's yellow jersey, and Perichon coming back to the charge led by Ineos. And they were in the breakaway throughout the day, but their challenge for the stage probably over at this point. But good news for Perichon. He has a teammate up the road, Anthony Perez, still in with a chance on today's stage for a stage win.
Yes, and that group, by the way, of Cavendish is down to 9 riders. It was 12, and so they're losing riders from that group as well. But the main field here, good tempo, excellent roads, a beautiful area of Provence here, and a little bit of a rest period for them before we get to Bedouin, and then we'll get the big mountain. Let's check in on our undulation map here. There's the peloton wandering around the area just below Ventoux, which is in the distance, that peak there. Pierre Roland just in no man's land, hoping one day he sees somebody. These are the leaders at the Tête de la Course, head of the race. And then we wander off down towards the... I can tell you that Dylan Van Baarle,
tama lang sana yung trip ko kanina.
Earlier on with Geraint Thomas, has just been dropped now by the peloton. Job done for him, Bob, but we're thinning out with Ineos Grenadiers.
And not good news for Anthony Perez, unless he's just gone back to the team car to get some some hydration. He's starting to overheat this far from the top. That's not good news for his chances to win the stage.
This is Perez coming back up to the front group now. Oh, well, that's good news. The climb is open and we're about to start. Now, the man who's had the big experience on the when he ran across the finishing line. Here's his story.
Wala. gusto mo mag-cruiser?
112
pwede
is
ba?
a mixture of emotions for me.
Okay,
I mean,
na
one is some incredible feelings from winning there in 2013 in the yellow jersey. But then also feelings of chaos going back there a few years later and actually ending up doing part of the climb by foot with my bike broken. And so I've got mixed emotions. It all comes down to the racing. I think the racing's going to be a fierce battle there for either the stage win or for the general classification. So doing it twice, I'm sure we're going to see some colorful moments up there, and hopefully no more running, but should be an exciting race.
So this is it, the last time up and the full length from just down in the valleys. We climb now all the way to the top. This time there are time bonuses. First 3 over the top. Here are the leaders, and in fact we've just seen Anthony Perez drop. So he's on the list here, but he's now gone from these front runners of Van Aert, Mollema, Alaphilippe, Ellison, Maurice, Julien Bernard, and Perez has gone. But Luke Durbridge still here, his mouth wide open with the black ends to his sleeves there.
Strength in numbers for the Trek team. 3 out of down to 7 now. So, and Julien Bernard burying himself for his teammates throughout these miles that the breakaway has been established. Bauke Mollema was dropped, but he's fought back. Bauke, stage winner in the Tour de France, tremendous climber, and he should be a good candidate. 5 minutes almost now, so the peloton not coming much closer to the breakaway, at least as we got onto the early slopes of the last ascension of Mount Ventoux.
Carrier, so group together tayo.
In our camera lens now, and boy, these have been
Pag
the
na-isolate
men
ko
of the
tayo.
race so far. 38 kilometers from the finish, normally a formality. But of course, we've got to go over this incredible mountain now from the full.
Isa lang yata sa B, tapos 8.
The race normally approaches.
Dalawa battleship natin. Isa lang battleship.
Well,
Saan yung main?
breakaway. So Chris Horner, do the leaders win, or does somebody come and surprise
Sabay-sabay tayo
us?
mag-top sa isang area, no?
I think the leaders have this today with a 5-minute gap almost to the Ineos train back there. I don't think Ineos have done a good enough job to really bring this group back in close enough for their favorite guys on GC here to attack and make a 5-minute gap. Wout van Aert looks very solid today. Julien Alaphilippe, he's got to get to the top of this climb, and then we all know he can tear up the descent through all the corners. So I think this group stays off.
15.7 kilometers to the top of this mountain. There's time, Christian van der Velde. Do you think the party can be spoiled?
I'm with Chris on that one there, Phil, but okay, I'll play the contrarian. They blow up because this has been such a hard day that these guys have nothing left. The biggest thing that I have to say, like, there we go, right off the back, but he did a big turn there. I did expect Ineos to take a lot of time on there. I thought this was going to be more around 4 minutes. With 4 minutes, I really think they had enough time to bring it back, but it's still a hard climb here, guys. Let's not forget, this is one of the hardest ones there is. Almost 10 miles at very close to 9%.
Yung ano, harugo mo, smalet, tara, ready natin. 21 seconds pa yung torpedo ko.
Ayun na, umapak na.
Ready, lahat
Manako natin.
Mag-top sa iyo.
Oh, barilan na.
Good.
Long way from the finish. Alaphilippe maybe seeing what Wout van Aert can do against this big attack now. And looking at
Oops, teka.
can now sit on the wheels for the foreseeable future. Big advantage for the Trek team having 3 riders right when
Wala siya sa range. Wala siya sa range ng radar. Takbo ka na dyan sa Mars kasi yung Must 1 may radar.
for many years when they were Team Sky, never allowed to do the Tour de France for the French rider. He changed teams so he could do exactly this, have a chance at stage wins in the Tour. The French rider, Ellison on the attack.
Yung Moss ba?
Well, there were 3 riders from Trek Segafredo in that front group. They've got to play the cards now. Let's check in with Adam Blythe.
Hindi ka nagtapo ng, ano, ng torp, smalan.
Ay, sorry, Source.
Tatabaan ako ng Ohio.
Munti ka na.
Walang ano, friendly fire.
Uy, walang friendly fire. Ito lang dito. Makunin.
Makawin
Ayun,
yun
may gumawa. May gumawa.
Harago mo, may ano ka? Ready yung guns mo.
Ready, ready.
Radar naman, oh. Bato.
So if it comes to a descent, of course, Adam, then he's an ace descender. But can he hang on to the top?
Mas ba, baka mapatay niya.
Mas ba?
Yep, muna. Magkapita.
It just depends on how, for me, how Alaphilippe races at the bottom. I think you can really put yourself in a bad place if you keep doing these little micro attacks and keep accelerating all the time. As I said, Wout van Aert is very efficient and he won't react to them too.
Unahin muna natin yung Mosba kasi 1/3 na lang siya.
Push na yung ano, Hindenburg pocket.
What do you think of Wout van Aert? I know you like him. They're in a crosswind at the moment, by the way, but they will get the tailwind as they swing up towards the summit.
KK Mosba. Let's go, 2K.
Moscow ba?
Ikot na ako. Punta ako doon sa may gitna.
Manyata na to siya.
Nice.
Oh,
Hindenburg
sumisilip.
13K.
Oh,
Marsto 1.8K. Ah, fuck.
Alis ako dito. Yung Smalan, kaya mo may pag 1-on-1 sa ano? Pag 1-on-1 sa Marso.
Depende kung gaano kagaling yung Mars.
Nakarugo mo, assist nyo.
Dapat may...
Hindenburg, so dito. Teka, mag-overextend yung Ohio natin. Yung isa dito, isa dapat dito, sa baba.
Pwede bang ma-separate? Saan ako pumunta?
Separate yung isa.
On pa rin eh.
Dito, yung isa dito.
On pa rin eh.
Yung ano.
Yeah, yan. Pero, hindi, okay naman for AA yan.
Kinabig ko. Kinabig ko na, siyempre.
Oh, haraga mo, ready your guns, ha? Oops, lipat. Nasa Ohio. Nasa Ohio na yung ano ko. Yung RPF ko. So, umalis yung ano.
Petro, wala makukuha yung ano natin. Dapat makuha itong...
Gusto na yung dalawang Marso?
Oo, baka umalis.
Kaya napunta kami sa si... si ano si yung Giring.
Yung Ohio, nagre-reverse yata yung Ohio.
Hindenburg, stationary.
Akit na. Takbo ka na sa si. Oh, punta na sa si. March, mamamatay na.
Ayun, Marso.
Cut na lang.
To go and take part in a marathon. Unbelievable. Ellison also
Ilan ka?
the ride of his life at the moment. We are only 35 kilometers from the finish.
Muna ito muna.
22 takes us down to the finish. So there's only a bit of suffering for about 12 kilometers required. And the gap is stretching. There's the spread. You can see the leader in the distance. And Van Aert is after him.
If Van Aert has any power left when he catches Ellison, if he goes to the front, well then he's got plenty left for the rest of the climb. Should be able to get near
May isang March mamatay na. Isang shot na lang yan. Oo ba? Akit.
Natakbo ka sa taas, sa C.
Ano? Ito. Ako na pupunta na si. Ako na pupunta na si.
Yung isang Marso almost dead na yun.
Oh, sakit.
Nagtatama yung tops ni Ragun.
Kaya ako na pumunta sa
Tatlo. Dalawa.
Bongga.
Yep.
Oh, Marso, malapit na yun, oh.
Hindi
Kaya mo
ko
na yun, Kadip.
Ako na.
Isang sampa lang yun, oh. Ay, kulang ka sa lead. Marso yan.
Kubo kaya ako ng C.
Nice.
Sa mabagal lang ako. Ayaw nga pala, may carrier nga pala.
Babasa.
Ayun na yung carrier, oh. Yummy.
Mm.
Nice! Naduko. Tapos yung carrier pa, aabangan ng Ohio. Spot ng Summers.
Paano unahin na yung carrier?
Oh, carrier. Oh, Ohio.
Sino ba target niyang carrier?
Pa-assist dito sa Petro.
One from Belgium, this man, and the other one from Holland.
Just caught quick sight of two teammates left with Tadej Pogacar and Ineos on the front of the chase, still setting a reasonable tempo. 6 riders off the back, I would imagine that's the group with David Goudot from the Groupama squad. And Mark Cavendish, 20 minutes down. Plenty of time if he can maintain a decent rhythm on this last climb to get to the finish.
Nice, umaatras siya.
Time limit. It was looking shaky, but the chasers at the very back of the field doing a good descent and not that far behind. But Julian Alaphilippe being clearly dropped by Bauke Mollema on the early slopes of the Ventoux. And that's not a question of going at your own tempo, Phil. That's just a question of not being able to go as quickly as Wout van Aert.
Wow, tanginang
Tago ka na.
tanginang belt na to.
But Mollema's gone to try and join these without Alaphilippe. But we are also hearing now that Victor Campenaerts, a winner of the stage of the Giro this year, has also abandoned the race. There was the attack, and there is the gap. But you know, the heart of a lion, the world champion, he's fought his way back.
Alaphilippe all over the bike trying to get back to the wheel. Bauke Mollema going to need that and more to stay on the wheel. And it might be Kenny Elizone's the next rider. Being some drama here, and Wout van Aert just looking up the mountain, tapping out. Very smooth rhythm looking absolutely exceptional at the moment.
May papasok ba after this? Mag-work na muna ako? May ano ba? Okay, sige.
And then we're on the exposed last 5 kilometers up to the summit. And this rider takes a bottle. Quite legal. They're allowed to take drinks on board under the rules today until 1 kilometer from the summit of Mont Ventoux. Then they're left alone to descend all the way to the finish in Malacen.
Hindi nga ako binabaril. Ako yung nagkataon.
Van Aert serviced by neutral support there. And here is the rest of the peloton. Still a pretty big group, Phil. So I don't think the big tempo that we could expect later on the climb has started emphatically in the group yet. Vingegaard is there. He is in the white jersey. And on the front, Jonathan Castroviejo, Rafael Maica is a teammate of Tadej Pogacar in the white jersey with the black sleeves, UAE. Wilco Kelderman also there with Emmanuel Bookman. And Ben O'Connor with that white helmet and white sunglasses, still hanging tough, second in the overall standings.
Work na muna ako.
Sige.
Manonood lang.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Now switching his interest in trying to maintain his second place overall in
Dexter ba yun?
He's looking for 2 minutes and 1 second to get the yellow jersey off the shoulders of Pogacar, who's in our picture.
Machinery, harap tayo.
Siya nandiyan.
Lying in 3rd place, but look at the time difference between the front two and the rest of the Tour de France. A most amazing race, and they're falling out like flies at the moment, Bob. Only 157 left in now.
Absolutely, that is McNulty getting dropped now. He had been hovering near the front. He will be needed in the stages to come for the defense of the yellow jersey. It's going to be really interesting to see what Tadej Pogacar does. If Castroviejo pulls off and the attacks start coming from Carapaz, watch out. This is Fuglsang getting dropped.
Oh, kulang isa. Bukas ang pinto.
It looks like this time it's for keeps. 34 kilometers to go, 21 miles. Those dark jerseys of Ineos Grenadiers
The dark side.
last in line. Richard Carapaz onto the attack. How long can he afford to wait? After what you said, Bob, you're right. He needs time because it's 22 kilometers downhill. Tadej Pogacar is a pretty good descender.
Well, Pole's in trouble. Very good climber, a long ways from the top. Team is Bahrain. They might not be the leading team at the end of today's stage. Get 3 riders to the finish. And that might be a question. Maybe UAE or Ineos moving into the lead of the team competition, but time will tell. Miguel Angel Lopez riding a little bit better. He is right there on the shoulder of the yellow jersey of Tadej Pogacar. Stephen Kreuzler getting dropped a long way.
Mag-destroyer ka pa rin. Kailan natin ng isa pang battleship player. Yung papalit next time.
Ako, pwede ako.
What? Yung battleship.
Now, take a look down there. Tadej Pogacar, where's all his team? We've said that they're weak, but there's only got one team rider with him at the moment, and it looks like the climber, Rafa Majka, twice the king of the mountains. So they've managed to the pacemaking by
Colloquy in the house.
Bob has thinned out the UAE boys. Now we're waiting for the
At least nanalo tayo dito.
Sepp Kuss hanging tough for the Jumbo team of
Ay, sino ba magka-petro?
Hindi, si Papay, balik sa Didi.
Doku na sa iyo ang ang commander. Mag-CCR lang ako.
Oh, Didi ka.
Carapaz, Ben O'Connor, Rigoberto Urán, no weakness shown yet. The American Sepp Kuss riding well in the peloton, riding spectacularly on the front of the breakaway is Wout van Aert, Julian Alaphilippe.
Hindi, si Jed lang yung cruiser natin.
Crisis there when Van Aert attacked, tried to close the gap, but he's dropped. And I think that Bauke Mollema's probably also dropped him. So Bauke Mollema should be further Alaphilippe absolutely dying here on the middle slopes of Mount Ventoux.
Well, this man will never give up. He's launched the attack that got the breakaway. He went with 101 miles still to race. We thought he was mad. He wasn't. And there's Sepp Kuss, number 15, riding right at the sharp end of the race and still looking very, very good, improving his overall position as well. Ineos, sooner or later, must attack. If you're looking for Carapaz, he's number 23 in the race. Carapaz is number 22 in the race down there. And in fact, Tadej Pogacar has got him right in his gun sights there, watching Carapaz. He knows what is due to come. We've seen it twice before in the mountains over the weekend. Carapaz goes first, and he just pulls out the yellow jersey with him. It looks like they're preparing for that now. Guillaume Martin, number 91, Bob. Oh, dear me, this is not a good sight. This is Alejandro Valverde here being distanced.
Higuita also in a little bit of trouble there at the back. Louis Meintjes riding well for Intermarché. Haven't been able to say that for a long time. Still in this group. Kelderman is there. Carapaz is there. Tadej Pogacar obviously in the yellow jersey there. Julian Bernard didn't take long for the field to catch him once he popped. But Castroviejo still trying to do the damage. Chavez also there with the white helmet. The bike exchange squad.
Ganado. Killer ano na? Yan na. Nalo na.
Dark Horse. Lumalabas ng Dark Horse.
Na rental.
Yung Marso sa sa B.
Dami nilang ano.
B.
Still a little way away.
Most likely candidate.
Go on, Bob.
Go ahead. Wout van Aert for the stage win. He is absolutely stomping. He's dropped Mollema, Elizone,
Tsaka
Tayo,
Nevsky.
ano ba tayo? Yung ano natin, doon tayo sa weak force susugod eh. C. Yun ba si A? Papunta ng C, tatawid ng A.
May isang magnakaw ng hindi na mabilis.
Oh.
Ako din.
Wag yung B.
Parang hindi. Mali. Masyadong malayo yung C.
Makeover.
Oh, sinong pupunta ng B? Sina ako? Oh, Sina ako.
Yung smalan, tabi tayo sa gitna tayo. Paspat ka.
Saan ako? Lahat ba tayo sa AV?
Hindi.
Hiwalay.
Kasabay yung...
Hiwalay ako. Hiwalay ba ako?
Ang ending yan, holding hands sa central yan. I-commit namin.
Kung dito kayo babaril.
Sige, ano ka na?
Kailangan maspat kagad sila eh. Kasi kung hindi sila maspat, ano tayo, blind tayo. Oran eh, doon din. Okay, ted nga ako. Okay, ted ako.
Okay, ted ka.
Sige na, dito na ako sa
okay,
misi.
ted ako. Wait lang.
Gearing lang naman yan. Pagtulungan natin. Oh, Nevsky.
12 kilometers.
Nevsky. Okay. Ano na yung gearing sa'yo?
Inen, push na yung yung strong force dito. Punta na sa gitna.
Oh, radar ako.
Nasa gitna. Nasa gitna. Yung Nevsky, patayin. Push na kayo sa gitna dito. Para mano.
Wala na radar.
Meron dito.
Nasa likod ng island.
Sa likod ng island.
Nevsky pa, focus na.
Pupush tayo. Ko. Inababaril yung Nevsky na.
Magpupush sila sa B. Strong ang B nila, double battleship sila sa B. Oh, Nevsky.
Top yun. Takbo.
Well, looking at a champion of Belgium here because this is Wout van Aert.
Ano naman?
Written away from everybody.
Re-radar ako dito.
Hindi na.
Kaya mo pumunta dito. Mapatay yung Petro. Yamato dito sa para dito babaril. Okay. Yung Petro standby lang dito sa makakalusot sa A.
May RPF yun.
Yung skill lang, hindi lang nakikita eh. Yun yung nakakaabala tayo.
Nasa likod ng bato.
2 hits sa Petro.
Patawid na yun.
Ito mo
Steering.
Talaga na.
Hindi, tatawid kasi yung Venetia, you know.
Ayaw pa Venetia.
Shit!
Zaw, naka-broadside.
Yun yung Venetia. Meron, nasa harap ko yung Venetia.
Yung gilid muna. Diyan, yung Yamatong kaya dyan. Bala dyan.
Puro overpen.
Ito to.
Jonas Vingegaard is in the white jersey as best young rider from the Jumbo
Yung Mato
squad.
sa
He's there,
Montana.
and Rigoberto Urán in the pink, also there with Lutsenko on his wheel
Ang
in the
grabe yung kuna to.
Babaril. Tulong ako bumati.
Nevsky naka-radar.
Ikot na ako. Tulong sa baba.
Dito, tawid ka na dito. Yung Montana papasok dito.
Aim ako sa Montana. Binesang ano eh.
Yung... Kaya mo niya? Venetia? Ohio, Venetia.
Makang simple siya dito eh. Kaya nyo dyan.
Bro, ako. Kaya na to, i-hold lang to. Kung Mars to, makapunta sa likod.
Sa likod.
Makapunta dito sa likod.
Roger.
Yeah.
Let's say sa'yo. Montana.
Yung petro natin, yung petro yan. FC, kaya bang patayin ng ano?
May binabalak tong Nevsky na to.
Sandali. Baril mo lang ng baril. Baril mo lang.
Venetia, Toko.
Sige.
So,
Nevsky.
Yung Nevsky, balak mag-top eh. Dala, mag-top ako sa'yo gitna, ano. Neko. Mag-broadside ka.
Ang tibay naman na to.
Ito pag-push up, ano. Para mapipilitan siya mag-broadside.
No.
Hindi ka matitop na.
Wow! Overpen.
Spoy pa.
The road that we used on the last lap will come in from the right, and it's not very far ahead of the riders.
Martin in trouble, it looks like, starting to dangle off the back here. Not exactly pedaling squares, but finding the going a little bit too tough. Back to the wheel of Michael Woods, number 37. Enric Mas, also there. Lutsenko, Urán in the pink. And Mount Ventoux proving to be an incredible hunting ground for.
Prince Malin nahahabol eh.
Stomping on the pedals.
Ay pala talaga siya. Dali, Doc, gusto mo lumiko sa akin?
He is long gone
Sumuko ko.
to the finish. Wow, what a ride by Wout van Aert. It's going to be virtually impossible for the chasers to catch. Alaphilippe already almost 3 minutes
okay lang,
behind
huwag na.
Wout van Aert.
Hindi na detect. Hindi lang.
Ito pa. Ito top na yung ano, yung daw.
Flying the flag. Belgian
So.
soldiers that don't climb by history very well indeed. They're not great
Herregud mo ba?
Dakadakan.
many times in the Tour de France. But most of them don't like mountains. But this man is the exception to the rule in just about everything he ever does.
Turn.
He's telling me, Bob, there is nobody going to match this man.
He's had a long-running battle with Matthew van der Poel, not just the Grand Tours, but also the Classics. Seem to be on the receiving end of a lot of those battles with Matthew van der
What's
Poel.
your
Up
name?
until today, and now he's on the delivering end. Rigoberto Urán was looking pretty good a moment ago. Let's see if he's not in a bit of trouble right now.
Let's have a little pan left if our camera can afford it, because this is good news for Ben O'Connor. No, it's bad news for Ben O'Connor. He sat right up behind Jonas Vingegaard there. Michael Woods is 37, 91 is Guillaume Martin. These boys, it's becoming a very, very select and personal battleground.
What's your name?
This, sadly, is Ben O'Connor, but he's not losing wholly. Totally is down at his overall time. Boy, he's suffering now, Bob. Yeah. He's looking almost human now, isn't he? Just like you and me.
It's got a long ways to go and climbing, and unless he starts to feel stronger, you know what he could use right now is a teammate to help him at least maybe not catch the riders in front of him, but to pace him closer to the top and perhaps across the top and down to the finish to limit his losses. But nobody from AG2R in that front group except Ben O'Connor, and now that he's been detached and no help from any of his teammates, that's going to be a long, rough finishing climb of today's stage and descent to the finish, by the way, for Ben O'Connor.
And I doubt Ben has seen this hill before in his life. It's his first Tour de France, but this man in our picture, Wout van Aert, 26 years old, third time in the Tour, already 3 stage wins, but nothing like this one. And this year, the biggest race in Holland, the Amstel Gold, he won that. And just before the Tour started, he won the Belgian road race title. He was so happy when he won that championship, and the result is he wears that jersey on Mont Ventoux today as champion of the Tour. Now here now is Richie Port puffing and blowing and driving. They're still trying to crack the man in the yellow jersey, but no success yet. But behind here, Kwiatkowski is Carapaz, and behind Carapaz is the yellow.
Nangyari sa last
Team
game.
papalit. Sa susunod na game. Kasalan mo.
Okay.
O pwede mo i-cancel.
Kanina nanood ako doon. Sa cellphone lang kasi as commander eh.
We're about 2 kilometers for the leader from Chalet Reynard where the road turns.
Hirap siguro. Nanonood ka ng palabas yung bida laging talo.
Walang flat armor.
Ben, naghahanap pa sila ng naubos na natin sa squad.
Gerard Clan, gamer talagang ano ba yan?
Na-outrank tayo.
We're getting towards the area where the finishing line was situated in that day when Chris Froome had to get off his bike and run, and Richie Port hit the back of a camera motorbike. We're not far away now. I'm not surprised that all the people were up the hill and they cancelled it, moved to finish down here because of the wind. And there was like people came down the mountain. So of course there were no ponies. They were all up the mountain.
Wala pa.
It was such a mess, but they just about got away with it.
Coco Kelderman, the Bora rider, looking at the back of Rafa Maika.
Natakot na lahat yata eh.
Away from the Bora squad, by the way, to do just this. Help Tadej Pogacar defend his title from last year's Tour de France. And all they have to do is follow the Ineos men, and if Tadej can do that, another day ticked off and closer to Paris in the yellow jersey.
How does this man make Mont Ventoux look so easy? Wout van Aert just got the rhythm going. He's flying up the hill. No, he's back here now. It's Ben O'Connor. There's a couple of wheels going past Ben. You need to grit your teeth and grab that wheel. Oh my goodness, he's suffering now. This is the man who put up such a display on Sunday to win in the Alps of Teen.
Eh?
Marshall Holland. Marshall na naman, saka Holland.
Kunin ko na A, ah.
Oo, ganun ulit. Ikaw agad yung Marshall. Ano kaya itong... Si... Magbayad ako sa si... si na naman.
You feel for him, Bob? Yes, Tour de France makes heroes and breaks heroes. There's no other thing to say about it.
Saan tayo, AB?
This is his team car. All the time, you see his earpiece.
May kasamang isa. At least may kasama.
Takaw, tapos flank.
Battleship.
I don't think this man cares. He's just getting on with the job. Once he
Battleship.
gets up to the top of this
Battleship siguro. Isang battleship. Yung Petro sa sea. Maki Raider din doon.
Sama ako doon kay Papay? Teka.
Battleship.
Tara, Toku.
sure just focused on the task at hand.
Let's go! Go, go, go! Power Rangers!
Just behind, I would imagine that the sports director, Kelly Elizone, maybe you wait for Bauka and you guys work together to
Nagas-gas
hold
mo.
off the peloton.
Dapat ba?
Nahihimas-himas yun.
That's probably an impossibility.
Nahihimas-himas ko lang eh.
Bernard just nose to the grindstone, tap out his rhythm. There he is, just coming into your screen. Champion of Belgium, the champion of Mount Ventoux, also acquiring catastrophes.
The race came
Look at
to
the-
a right there last lap. We're now on the road, which takes us into the open space. Any second
Nine.
now,
9 planes ang napatay ko. 10.
and listen to the cheers.
Sa akin yan.
Ano? Ano tayo? Mag-try dito. 10 seconds.
Mhm.
Oo.
Ako hindi. Ako hindi.
Hindi. Mas maganda.
Naka 9 plays eh. Pwede ba naman? Hindi ba? Mas...
Started everything and he's being picked up there, Bob, by the main peloton.
Yep, you're right.
Meron dun eh. Puna ko ng torp dun.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Ito sa'yo.
Yung Marso, ingat. Yung Marso, ano, ingat na. Oh, gumit na ka. Ay, abuli ka ng mouse ba dyan?
They don't often cheer Belgian climbers in the Tour de France.
Meron dito, nagtapan ako ng torp.
Oh, 10! 10!
May priority target.
Meet my friend Doku. Mouse ko ba? Meet my friend Doku.
Ah, na yung Petro na...
Nag-radar na yung Petro.
Radar siya.
Short lang naman yun.
Push na natin to. Ano, Yamato?
Eh, mag-broadside ng Moss ba?
Diba? Hindi. O yung Moss ba muna to, ano? Huwag muna tayo mag-push yung Moss ba muna patayin. Meron Moss ba? May Venetia. Alis tayo, alis tayo. Venetia. Muna, yung focus natin dito. Alis tayo. Venetia dito sa Petro. Wait lang. Actually, yung Moss ba muna mapatay eh. Dali.
Oo.
Ano? Yung kalaban ng Marso.
Masama.
Ay! Nandito pala si Marso!
Ito nga, ito nga pa. Tago lang sa likod.
Wala kang kita sa Mars.
Yung Yamato siguro ano ba? Mag-push ba Yamato? Oh. Oh na, may Venetia dito. Yung Yamato pag mag... Hindi, pag mag... Oh, super.
Ayun.
Sige. Kukunin ko to ah.
Hindi tumama.
Yung Venetia ano. Good. Baga na mag-push.
Dalawa sila nandito, shit!
Push ka na. Ano lang, abangan mo na lang sila. Palaya sa manine ko eh.
Uy, kailangan ng tulong ni Doku ah. Pinuputok din ng ano, ng carrier.
Actually,
Okay, Roger.
target mo sa
Panilayo ako kasi may lumabas na Marso dito eh.
Okay, atin na to. Oh, yung Petro wag nang mag-push.
Magkakago ako rin ng
Pangalan do?
Correction.
Hindi na.
Yung si Smalan. Smalan akyat. Smalan akyat. Teka. Petro stay na lang dyan.
Tago ako.
Dalawa sila dito.
Cheers all the way. The flags of Slovenia are flying proudly, but it's a man from Belgium who is winning.
Smalan babas ano. Subi. Petro wag na, yung Petro natin wag na mag-push patras sila.
Tatakbo na ako nung dalawa sila rito.
Wag mo na, bantayan mo na lang yung ano, yung C.
Ina-farm ko lang yung broadside noon, Kremlin.
Kremlin pala doon. Dali, ano ka ta. Peta ko dyan. Yung Smalan punta na sabi.
Ay, patay ako.
Makikita ko ng point. Makikita ko ng
Ako ng career. Panong patay.
Kahit ba yung puwet niyang Kremlin matibay?
Hindi.
Roger.
Barilin ko siya babaril. Ako na babaril dito.
Pwede lang.
Ano yung ano mo na?
Matras yung mga...
Reset ko siya. All guns sa Marso. Wala ko ng malakas puta.
Yan ang pagtulungan niya si Masaw.
Panyata sa to.
Sino yung Masaw natin?
Yung ano, hindi mapatay. Putang gala. Ako ng ano, firepower. Mapatay yung...
Yung Kremlin lalabas, oh.
Yes, and I think the way Ellison has looked over his
Magpupush siya.
shoulder,
Saan kaya bumaba?
Ano ba yung nasa likod ko?
Petro.
they could stay away for second and third, Bob. I can't see them crossing a gap of a minute 21 to the front leader.
Smoke screen set.
Probably put more time in these two if they can relay each other. Well, just as such a tremendous athlete. Big beast of a rider.
Waste yung time natin sa Kremlin.
Ay, fuck.
This is the select group of overall leaders in the Tour de France, and we've still got the top 6 riders. Well, we've got the top 5 of the top 6 riders. We've lost Ben O'Connor in that group. He just follows the
Okay, so Marso.
because why would he attack? Pogacar has all the time in hand he needs. This man is fighting to hold
Kasi ano yun, Smalan da.
Putang ino, hindi pa namatay.
Umos ba marapit na? Patay yung Smalan kagad. So, dagdagan ko pa ng smoke.
What the fuck?
Ano?
Galing mo ah.
Fire siya.
Ay, putang galumos ba yan? Gale. Bato. Wala na yung spots dyan. Kailang Kremlin ah. Kinukuha na nila yan.
Ang unat ng Kremlin!
Ay! Ang inang Moscow pa.
Patay, patay.
Well, he's done his work to keep his man where he wants him. 4 kilometers to go. Kwiatkowski looks over his shoulder at Carapaz. Not coming through yet. This is Maurice.
The ship is on fire.
Now.
Engine boost deactivated. Problem solved, sir.
Trouble getting dropped.
Oh my goodness, this mountain is eating like dry rot into their legs.
This is Micah coming back. And a little worrying. You want to have a teammate as far as possible into every stage in case something happens to Tadej Pogačar's bike. He'll have his team car there, but it's always great to have a teammate. And let's see if Micah can collect himself and try to get back on the top. But if Carapaz
Ay, sinong pwedeng pumalit?
forget about it. It'll only be the GC
Meron pa ba?
in the frame.
The man in pink there is
Hindi, kay Doc Rowe na eh.
third overall. If O'Connor loses any more time, he'll move up to second. This is the man who's rewriting the script, though, in the lead for most.
One game na lang man, Papa eh.
One game na lang ba?
Oo, 50 minutes na lang.
27 minutes behind overall. He's not looking for time gains, although he's got quite a lot on a lot of riders.
Okay guys, well,
Looking to win the stage.
Decision.
oh, sabihin ko sana welcome home eh. Pero sige, Susa.
Bakit natalo pa tayo nung linggo? Ha?
Yes, I think you're right. There's the tailwind. It's quite
Who's your daddy?
This is typical at this time of the year. And there
Natalo tayo nung linggo sa lagay na yun?
feel the full force of that wind behind them. Kwiatkowski still leading Richard Carapaz. Richard Carapaz, who we've been expecting to attack for the last 10
Nagalit na
kilometers.
si,
And he's running out of time now. 2.2 kilometers to the summit of
Yun eh.
You won't get
Diba,
an attack from
tinawag
the
niyo pa nga ako eh.
Algerians.
Kaya
Done all the attacking
kulang yung
before to have a
naglalaro na ako sa kabila.
minutes in the bank. And remember, there's time bonuses at the top, and they've all been lost at the moment to the riders ahead of the group. This man will get the few seconds available, which is 8.
Who's your daddy?
Just 2 riders now. That is
Who's your daddy? I'm your mommy.
Anong gagamitin ko?
Didi.
Didi. Marshall Gale. Shima.
Over 2 minutes behind the yellow jersey group, but still within a
Who's
chance
your
to keep
daddy?
his position second in
I'm
the
your
mommy.
Depending on what Carapaz
Kami
does.
Shima.
If
Ano naman
Carapaz
eh.
doesn't go
Gearing naman.
bananas in the last couple of Ks before the top of Mount Ventoux.
There's the group, Bob, that we're looking at now. Pogačar.
Naglaro sila sa Ampol sa nung linggo ah. Tama.
Fifth overall, Carapaz is there as well. Mas, Kelderman is in trouble. Lutsenko and Kwiatkowski. Those riders, and we've still got everybody in the top 5 places, top 6 places, except
Talo mid.
Enrique Mas gritting his teeth, hanging tough. Vingegaard right on the wheel of Pogačar.
Ang hangin ko, grabe. Loko to.
By the way, that competition being led by Tadej Pogačar. And I would imagine Carapaz, if he has the legs, has to attack pretty soon. I don't see from the body language of anybody else in this group putting an attack in. They're just content to follow the wheel of Michael Kwiatkowski doing the tempo at the front.
Well, they're climbing up to that second kilometer to go marker. These 2 boys are inside 2 kilometers.
Dapat yata ubusan ng barko yung ano eh. Name of the game eh.
It's not going to happen. Bolimer and Elizondo, those
Di lang
2
basta cup
riders.
eh.
This is
Ubusin.
Kwiatkowski here. There's the determined place of second place rider Richard Carapaz. But when is he going to jump? Even if it's only a few seconds. There isn't much more left in the legs of the former world champion.
Isip na tayo ng paraan.
Okay na sana yung ano eh. Okay na sana yung dalawang DD. Apat na. Apat?
You are on your own.
Tatot pa eh.
Apat na ano na.
Oh, work pa.
But when he pulls off, Carapaz has got to attack. That's the only tactic left. Mas in trouble, Phil. Wow.
Ito na naman yung decision na matagal.
Enrique Mas is also cracking now. He was lying a 6th overall in the Tour de France, 5 minutes 47 behind the yellow jersey of Pogacar, who is now riding away from him and gaining more time.
Panalo tayo dito ngayon. May vampira tayong kasama eh.
It's a long ways from the top. The steepest part still to come. If Carapaz has to set some tempo before that, that might take the sting out of his legs a little bit. Cueto, though, he's done his job. He'll go back and just do
Mahirap
this to
yan,
set to
apat
the
na
finish
DD,
line.
tapos isa lang ang cruiser.
Bakit mahirap?
Bukas pa daw siya, sabi niya.
You can't fault Carapaz. Excuse me, not
Hindi
Carapaz.
pa, sa next week pa sila magbabakunahan.
Asking Rigoberto
Oo.
Urán to come forward. See if
Si JJ bukas at saka si second dose nila.
Bob, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Well, I would never have dreamt that we
Yun,
would see the
pasok.
way these boys ride in the race. They're
Ina
all
ho.
ride by simply riding
2 minutes, kulelat na kulelat na. Ano ba yan?
He's just following each and every one of them. He doesn't look under pressure. They've gone through 2 kilometers from the
Tayo?
front.
Mag-DC push tayo.
Diri na.
Kuha ng A.
Dalawa yung radar ship.
Yung kagad ng Marso yung A, tapos takbo sa ano. Yung BC yung push natin.
BC.
From push oh.
Marso A? Asan sa Marso?
Yung Marso kunin yung A. Hold lang. Tapos pag ano, takbo kagad. Pero the rest is BC.
Well, Alexei Lutsenko has cracked now. He's at the far distance there in that turquoise jersey. Vingegaard has launched the attack.
Hinanap mo.
And no problem to follow him by
Dude,
the
after
champion
this
of
game,
the
we'll
Tour
have a
de
place for you
France,
tomorrow.
Pogacar. They've
Hindi.
distanced
Sabihin niya.
Carapaz.
Kunti lang. Marami yung
That's the attack.
A.
So sa A, Marso sa A, baba kagad yung Marso, pero lahat sa BC tayo. Mas malakas ang push sa BC.
Oo nga.
Isang battleship lang na magbantay sa ano. A. Pero yung may cover din sa ano, sa BC.
Ay, ang lutulong natin.
Okay
kung
yung
sa-
magbabantay.
So, yung magpupush ano, si Ohio. Iring gitna tayo. Tayo pumasok lang. Eh, Vampire. Wide, magwa-wide. Magwa-wide ako dito sa, pupunta ako dito sa 8. Busy tayo sa push ano.
Eh, wala ito. Napaligo nito, sigurado.
Papuntang A yung pad ko eh, RPF eh.
Nandun, nasa A yung ano. Pwede tayo mag-torp dito, kaya balls. May 30 seconds ba ako? Yung Marso yung ano ka na, ikot ka pabalik. Dito ka ano, maipit ka dyan. Naku, masyado ka ng loob. Pasok ka na eh.
Nipski.
Tapos ang ano. Pati yung Marso natin masyado.
Masyado malakas eh.
Re-radar ka, Papay.
Uliinom ako
Re-radar siya.
Sobra ako sa cholesterol. Eh, di ako kumakain ng cholesterol. May 4 min yan.
Carapaz has been dropped, O'Connor's been dropped, and Rigoberto's all been dropped by Tadej Pogacar. But dropping Tadej is Vingegaard and putting big pressure on the yellow jersey at the moment.
Torp ako sa CA. Tapos push na.
Alright.
Russian.
Russian. Ano to?
Copy-paste ko.
Wala, hindi puno ang A.
But then okay, then kunin natin yung C. Torp ka na dito. Wait. Sabi.
Ako na pang torp.
Des Moines.
Torp ko ka dito.
Torps nyo. Sa unahan niya,
Torp ko
sa
dito.
unahan. Uy,
Plan,
sito
so,
din.
Tara. Ano. Mag-smoke ako dito.
Sama ng Des Moines na to, tanong.
Yan siya lang. Oh, hi. Anong push kayo? Yung vampire.
First!
Oh.
Mag-wide ka para mapaspas yung ano. Ito.
Torp.
What the fuck? Sagli, radar.
Indian bird.
Hindi, magre-radar ako. Ayun! Yung Haaland!
Pat sila, tatlo sa baba. Kaya yung Marshall sa gearing, bantayan yung nasa baba. Hindi pa sila iba. May nasa likod ko. May nasa likod yung Gale. Gearing kaya mong ano. Pat sila dun, tatlo sa baba.
Dali, dalawa.
Yung nasa baba.
Jollibee. Sarap ng papa, no? Ikaw eh.
Buti na lang kamo, walang carrier.
Kulit yun ko ah.
Dapat ko malo.
Layo lang ako.
Yung bearing.
Shit!
Patay yung bearing ah.
Corp Force, Torps ba? Kasama sa Corp Force, Torps. Ako, sakto lang. Mamamago ko.
Ohio, yung Ohio.
Kapahydrong loko.
Yung Ohio, Diyos ko. Good luck ako sa Ohio. Oh my God.
Anong shot siya dyan?
Ay, puta, Nevsky.
Tatamaan niya tayo yung demon. Tatamaan. Tanggal isa.
Good Woo!
Oh, check
Ano pa, Hindenburg?
Focus dito sa gitna. Yung curve first. Ohio.
Punta ako dyan, don't worry.
First sa likod nga lang. Yung Thunder
sa likod,
ang laban sa sa curve first.
Corp Force ah. Yung Corp Force secretary lakas.
Pamper, nasa island ka na.
Oo, pala ko na secondary.
Oo!
Torps, tupat ako.
Lang yung Ohio. Yung Ohio, yung pet lang ng ayan sa purpose. Kaya mo mag-radar Petro?
Oh, radar.
Basta, para makita natin yung gearing. Ayun. Patay yung gearing.
Yung purpose muna kasi maiina yung purpose eh.
Ina na ba?
Yung Ohio may ina na rin.
Thunderer, kaya mo mag-push para ano yung...
Para makita ko yung Ohio, pupuntahan ko siya.
Ito yung A. Ito yung A ah.
Problema naman ako sa purpose.
So, binabagal ng purpose.
Patay na Corp Force.
Yung purpose ang yan, ano nyo, parang hindi niya ako masika din.
Yun, nakatay na.
Ayun na. Ayun.
No, okay, nice one.
Yung
Padala.
Gearing.
Okay, good work.
Ano to, Nevsky? Problema ko yung daring, nasa harapan ko eh. Ay, hindi, magtatago ako dito sa sa Ohio. Dito ako magtatago sa Ohio para hindi siya makapag-torps. 45 seconds.
Fire. And Hindenburg.
Mars, so... Ito na yung daring lumabas na.
May Haaland pala sa akin.
Ano mo na yung Hindenburg, baka kaya mo.
May Haaland sa akin
Oo.
Wala yung Haaland, konti lang yung Haaland.
Radar, dead dyan. Radar.
Put down ako.
Ilan pa?
Ano na lang, konti lang. Sige sila, sa na malapit na.
So, kunin yung ano.
Diring, kunti na lang diring.
So, kunin yung stick.
Tricky na lang diring na lang, diring.
So, kunin.
Kunin. Tari para for the win.
Makawala pa tong daring na to.
Marso, kunin yung stick.
The terrain is favorable, but these two riders are not out of it just yet. And Vingegaard has not caught them, so the indication is that
Ito.
still going well on
Sige,
the
sige.
trying to close down what might be an impossible task and catch Wout van Aert, who's off the front. He has a handy lead, but it's
Buhay pa yung ano.
out of the question just yet. The two pursuers might catch.
Hindi abot. Tatamaan sila ng torps eh.
Pinagtutulungan ako ng Nevsky, tsaka Hindenburg.
Hindenburg muna.
Ang inang daring to.
Push mo na lang.
Bagal ang tarik kasi nito eh.
Piling muna.
Vingegaard is just behind the leader as well. So we got 14 seconds, 15 seconds. It's going to be incredible. They're going to be good. Vingegaard, I think, will get up hopefully to those two riders.
Kunti na hindi. 5K. Sige, papatay mo lang yan.
Kill pa yung daring.
Oh, nice!
Wala, patay ako.
Kunti na lang hindi. Tricky na lang. Tricky na lang hindi. Okay, tricky na lang hindi.
Paano? Jed, kailan mo na...
Hindi. Cause fire, hindi. Yan. O, cup.
May Haaland pa.
Cup. Cup lang.
Tatabi mo. Kukunin ko yung C. Okay.
Kunin C. Kadet. Okay.
Ayan, torps na no. Kailangan gumalaw ako para...
Wala pa.
Kasi kundi, yaya.
So, pwede walang pa. BB.
Radar yung Nevsky.
Kunin mo na, hindi, yung C.
Konti na lang si Halat, konti na lang.
Wala na, ubos na.
Konti na lang si Halat.
Ano hindi ako detected na saan siya?
Let's hope so. Mark Cavendish will hope he was. But
Ay,
also the other sprinters, I think they've been through it at least as
Hindi natin makuha yung ano.
Baka hindi siya pumunta ng A. Baka nagtago dun sa ano.
Ayun,
hindi nasa A.
Tumapak na.
Okay na. Sa ina, nasa ina.
Matagal naman yung reload ng torps na daw.
Ayun.
Just listening to what
They're
saying.
Power.
45 now to the yellow jersey group.
Minute, grabe.
Oh. Stop.
Ang sakto.
He's going to come up on those two riders pretty soon. Here he is. No sign ahead of the two men yet, but he's descending really well.
Inang torps to hayo.
10 seconds and change behind Vingegaard. And if that's the case, I would imagine Tadej is
Lag.
breathe a sigh of relief and just sit on the wheels for the rest of the descent. And
Puta sa cup. Akap.
catches Jonas Vingegaard.
It's everything you've got left in those legs and a little bit more now as we come away from the top of the Mont Ventoux. Never finished in
Pinabarat dyan. Yun no? Nanalo si Jed oh.
Lone leader and absolutely crushing the second climb. What a ride by Wout van Aert. This is going to be a raid.
Anak ko. Si Tadel. Ano yan?
Ang kumunat naman nun.
It is amazing. An
Donut.
unbelievable athlete, incredible talent. I mean, you don't see a
Galing.
sprinter
Galing.
at the Gale, and he's won sprint stages before in the Tour de France. To be able to climb that well and drop some of the best climbers on the planet and hold off a big charge
Okay.
from the yellow jersey is absolutely
Kailangan ko
Ah.
magluto.
Oh, 1 minute, 1 minute, man. 1 minute, 1
Hindi,
minute, go, go, go.
Ha?
1 minute, 1
minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
So this is still a fine push here.
Isa pa, isa pa.
As you know, they've
1 minute, 1 minute.
Ay,
the tuck position, Bob. Position
Ay.
right or not?
Sandali.
Tip of the saddle. This is
Yan na.
Ah, right.
if he were to sit down on the top tube, though, then it would be against the
Yes.
rules.
kaya lang wala na ata sa squall eh.
It's a very hard field. They would not allow
Wala na.
what they call the tuck position. That is totally outlawed, and I think the penalty is
Even nalaglag yung ano
disqualification.
natin.
So it's got to be careful.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yung
all the
yung
riders on
Bravo,
this
okay
descent,
naman.
I mean, the instinct would be, because it had become so common to sit on the top tube and try to gain a little bit of time, but you absolutely
Ay, wala na.
do
Wala na,
that.
bumitaw na.
You would risk
Wala na.
disqualification if you did, even for
Over.
Over.
Absolutely, but we don't want that to happen today.
Wala nang kalaban.
The day of
Over
his
and
success
out.
in Korea
Bukas
today,
sila.
and he's had some big days in
Bukas
his
na
life.
lang.
A world cyclocross champion, that's the winter sport where you
Ay!
catch and run through mud. He's been a world champion and then he rides on
Tatlong
the road
cruiser.
race.
Oo,
He won
dapat
the Amstel Gold Classic race.
tatlong Didi.
Started back in 1966, and now
Kulang sa cruiser eh.
champion of Belgium. Racing. It's not his first win in the Tour de France. It'll be his 4th stage win in a Tour de France. But it'll be far and
Okay,
away
mauna na ako.
much,
Bye-bye.
much
Sige,
better than the others.
thank you.
Sige.
Ingat.
Ako rin, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
It's 2 against 1 at this point.
Tatapusin ko na yung lalaro ko. Ano ba yan?
It's going to be a lot harder for Vingegaard to close the gap now in the next 10 kilometers.
Saber.
Two trek
Saber
riders